Hi there, welcome everybody. This is Patty Bennett. I am excited to share some things with you today. I blog at pattystamps.com, so if you are looking for any of these fall ideas later this week, they will all be on my blog throughout the next several days. We are going to be talking today about the fall products in the Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. So I'm very excited that I finally get to show you the inside of the catalog, because up until a couple days ago, well, yesterday, oh my gosh, seems like a long time ago, we couldn't show the inside of the catalog yet. So today, what I thought I would do is I am going to share the products and samples that I have made with the Come Together suite of products. So these are our fall products, and there are a stamp set and dies and paper ribbon, and then I'm going to go on into these couple of pages, plus I will show you some samples that I've made back here with this seasonal wreath set. So we're going to cover a lot of products today, a lot of ideas, and I'm going to share with you kind of how I pull in the products and how I decide what I am going to make and use and put on my blog and share with you and all of those things. So again, welcome. I think we're just right about at the top of the hour. If you're joining me on a Facebook Live, you're going to see a little red live button up there. That's how you know that it's live. And I try to watch for comments, although sometimes they go by and I miss them. So I will check again at the end for comments if you have some questions, if I don't see yours. You might be watching this later on my blog at pattystamps.com. You might be watching on YouTube. I'm so glad you've joined me, and feel free to leave any questions that you might have. I would love to help you. Oh, and by the way, if you need one of these catalogs, if you don't have a demonstrator, you can go to pattystamps.com, and there is a button in the drop down under catalogs to request a catalog. So that way I can help you with that. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be talking about the Come Together suite and the fall products, because I felt like it was a little overwhelming to go through the entire catalog and have you try to digest all of that. So we're just going to break it down week by week and talk about a different suite. What I do love about this catalog, and also in our annual catalog, is there's now an option with one ordering code. You can buy all of those products in this suite. And then I'm going to be showing you a few other things that I pulled in to use, like this set with the pumpkin and then some of our copper embellishments. So that is kind of nice that you can do that now, or you can just buy the bundle at the discount, or just get the paper, just get the ribbon, you know, whatever you'd like. But that I just wanted to point out. So the thing I wanted to start with before we dive into the cards is this color palette. So these are the colors that Stampin' Up! Used in the Come Together designer paper. And you can see them here: the Merry Merlot, the Mint Macaron, Pear Pizzazz, Pretty Peacock, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso. It's a very lovely selection of colors. And at first I was kind of like, whoa, but here's what I like to do. I pull out those ink pads that go with the colors in the paper, and then I try to work with those, and it kind of keeps me in that zone of not going too crazy with a lot of color. I, of course, also added pumpkin pie, because I don't know what's a pumpkin without pumpkin pie, right? So I did add pumpkin pie, and then the new copper Delicata ink pad this is a metallic pad. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to show you a couple things about that. Absolutely amazing. So we're going to go through some cards, a bag, a couple of 3D boxes, and then I have a stack of other cards to show you. So stay tuned, and we're going to go through all of these, and then these will all be on pattystamps.com over the next several days. I've broken it down into about 4 additional blog posts so that you can see everything in detail. So since these are right on top, let's just start with these cards, and I'll show you what I did, what I used. I'll actually believe these are going to be on my blog tomorrow. So for these, I used mostly the Gather Together stamp set and these Gathered Leaves dies. These are the dies that come in a bundle if you'd like to purchase that at a bundle, excuse me. And I have used the large leaf here and here. That's this one. So what I did was I stamped this one with this new copper ink. And let's bring this a little closer and see if you can see a little bit of the shimmer. It might be hard to see, but the veins there are actually stamped in this copper ink pad. And I did it on crushed curry. And then I took some, I think that's Cajun Craze ink, and just flicked around the edge a little bit haphazardly to sponge. And then I took a sponge with my copper pad and I added more to the edge. I also used the copper foil and the gold foil to cut out these 3 leaves. These are beautiful. You can see all those gorgeous veins in there. And I also stamped with the copper pad right down here on the bottom half. So lots of copper happening here, and the same sort of idea on all 4 cards. On these 2, for the background, I have used this new stylish scroll embossing folder, and it's actually in the Halloween section of this catalog. So can you see the difference here? I embossed them both on Whisper White, and I used my sponge. Let me show you what I have here. So I took my sponges and I punched out copper paper, gold paper, and silver paper so that I would know which one to use. And on this one, I very lightly inked so that just that raised portion of the embossed would pick up that copper ink. On this one, I just kept sponging and sponging and sponging until the whole thing had sort of a copper hue. So you can kind of see that difference. And then these splatters, these little speckles, are actually my Cajun Craze blend marker. And I just flicked the ink out of the cap to get that little speckled look. I thought that was really marvelous. I loved that. Learned that tip from my friend Cindy. Let me show you while this is here. This is how I decided this was going to be the easiest way for me to keep these pads and re-inkers and sponges organized. So like I said, we do have the gold, silver, and copper in these new ink pads. They are metallic. So I've got those in my box, and then in this little box I have the 3 re-inkers, the 3 sponges, and the 3 sponge daubers. I know I could have kept those with all of my other sponges and re-inkers and whatnot, but this just seemed really handy. So that's just a tip for you if you like to keep things organized and together, and that just something you might want to try. Okay, and then on these 2, same basic ideas, but I used the woodland embossing folder in the background on Whisper White cardstock and then just lightly sponged on there with the copper pad. And it just gives a really soft, beautiful background. Now, a couple of other things I pulled in here. I went through my copper accessories, and we have these leaves. These are leaf trinkets in the annual catalog, and they do come in copper. So I added one of those, and you will see these on an upcoming project. But these, the copper washi tape and the copper clips, these come in the Tags and More accessory kit, I think it's called. It's in the annual catalog, and it comes with these bags. No, excuse me. I think the bags go with this. No, sorry. It doesn't come with the bags. It comes with tags and the accessories. I have enjoyed pairing it with the bags. Excuse me on that. But yeah, so I was anyway just pulling in all these extra copper embellishments as well as the copper foil paper, the gold foil paper, silver foil paper, and I thought that all of that went really lovely together. Also pulled in the metallic brads, so those are the copper brads. This is also pretty, isn't it? I love the feel of this. And then this is the terracotta tile in color ribbon. And since it's a little bulky, I didn't want to tie a bow or a knot. So I wrapped it around the inside of the card, and then I just let this piece just hang there. And I don't know, I thought that was kind of artsy. It was almost a little bit hard for me to do, but I like it. And then these two bows here, this is also from the Come Together Suite, page 47, and this is the ribbon combo. So it's the Cajun Craze thread and the ribbon. So I used the ribbon. You can see how that looks on this one. And then the thread on those two. So that's that. And then speaking of bringing in copper, this is something you'll see on an upcoming project here in a minute, but the copper trim, I also have brought that in. So I just tried to gather everything that I thought was like fall and copper and warm, and that color palette, like I said, in addition to the pumpkin pie. And yeah, so those were my first set of cards that I worked on, and I really enjoyed how those turned out. I hope you liked those. Those will be at pattystamps.com on tomorrow, I believe. So when I was die cutting these pretty leaves, I wanted to show you on our next project here. This is a pillow box that I decorated. I'm going to see if you can catch some of this shimmer. So what I decided to do was use those gathered leaves dies on the Come Together paper. So these are actually the printed paper. You can see that. So it has some little depth and dimension to it. But then I took the copper pad and my sponge, and I'll just do it on here. And I was just sponging them to get a little bit of shimmer. And then if you want a little more concentration right on the edge, you can just flick it like that. And I don't know if that's coming out much. I think you can kind of see the shimmer on there. But it's a really beautiful way just to get a little extra shimmer and shine. And I know I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I love those pads. I'm not sure I can afford all three. I would say pick your favorite and purchase that one along with the re-inker, and then you'll have something to work with to add the shimmer, and you can just, you know, dress up your projects with that color. And then if you want to buy another one, you know, that's great, but don't feel that you have to purchase all three of them right away. Although, you know, they could sell out too. I don't know. I don't know. Just saying. So back to our pillow box. I wanted the recipient to be able to get whatever I decide to put in here out without destroying the decoration. So this is a belly band, but I actually glued it right to the box. I decided not to make it slip on and off. This is a 2-inch by 12-inch strip of the Come Together paper. I used our triple banner punch on the end, but instead of gluing it all the way down, I let that end just stick up. So the rest of it is stuck, and this is just sticking up. Again, that kind of gave me pause for a minute because I normally don't have something like that, but I liked it. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like that? I hope you like that idea. And so then on this one, this is called the 2 Every Season stamp set, and I used the leaves and the greeting out of that set on this project. And I actually used it on the card that we're going to look at next, so I'll just leave that out here. But I did use the leaves, tucking them in. This is a stitched shape circle, as well as this piece here is one of the scalloped pieces from the layering circles, and it is in the Come Together paper. I thought, so let's look at, it's this piece right here. And I really liked how that just made this project really pop. I don't know, do you think? I liked it. I thought rather than just going all traditional like orange and the Mary Merlot, I thought, ooh, let's bring that in. It's in the package, let's use it. So I liked that, and then I did that copper trim, and you can just see how I've kind of frayed. You can just take this and fray it at the bottom. So that was that, a simple project, but I was just kind of playing again with this color palette taken right from the designer paper pack, and I just really liked it. I hope you like that one. Okay, so I said we were going to look at another project with this set, the 2 Every Season set, and I decided on here, I cut a strip of Thick Whisper White, stamped it with the 3 leaves, and colored it with my blends. And then this also comes as a bundle, and there are 4 different punches. I just brought the leaf punch with me, but that is the one that I used. Can you see that cute little leaf that I've just punched here? And I was just using up my scraps, and that was from die cutting all of those other leaves. So I thought, oh, well, that's kind of fun. Just a way to bring in that. And then these little sprigs right here. Let me show you what that is from. I think it's called, what is that called? Detailed Christmas? Well, no, I was close. Christmas Layers. It has the word Christmas in it. So it's this sprig. Again, here it is. I just put those back here in the background to pull in these colors. I love this set of dies. It has the snowflakes and this sprig in it, as well as some little pieces, but I really love that. That's on page 16. And then let's see, right here, this is the 2 Every Season set we were just talking about, and here are the 4 punches, and here is the bundle price, $36 for the 4 punches and the stamp set. So that is on page 50-51 if you were looking for that. But we're going to go back to this Come Together suite here, so I keep on track. So that's that one. And then let's see, what should we look at next? Well, let's do this one since we started to talk about that. So this is the copper dotted treat bag, and I used a 2-inch wide strip of the designer paper from Come Together. Again, the triple banner punch on the end to flag it. And then we were talking about these 2 from the Tags and More accessory kit. This is in the annual catalog, but I wanted to bring in the copper. So I've got the clip at the top, and this is the copper washi right across there. Can you see there? If I tilt it, you can see that. Oh, I got a thumbs up. Thank you, whoever that was. And then I had this rectangle stitch die sitting on my desk, and I thought, oh, well, let's try that. So I stamped the greeting in the Mary Merlot because that goes with the leaves. And then I've got my copper and gold leaves, and I stamped the pumpkins and die cut them with the Gather Together bundle. So you get the pumpkins to die cut, the die cuts to die cut the pumpkins, and I colored them with my blends. So I thought this would make a nice little hostess gift if you were going somewhere for Thanksgiving, or you could even kind of turn this into a table favor or something like that. So that was that one. And then let's go through these cards, and then we're going to talk about this awesome pumpkin box that I showed you before a few weeks ago, but we're going to go into a little more detail on that. So this one, we're jumping a couple pages, well, 1 page ahead to page 49 is where you'll find the Harvest Hellos. And that has the cute pumpkin and apple. Let's show you that set here. So it's on page 49. And it has the pumpkin and the apple and the leaves and the stem. And I wanted to play a little bit, just get a couple of samples made with it. So this is in the 6x6 paper stacks is where you'll find the cute plaids. You could also stamp a plaid background, but I thought that was just kind of fun. You make me smile. And then I used the paper, the Monster Bash paper for a Halloween one, but same idea, stamping the pumpkin onto the plaid paper. I was going to call it graph paper. Well, whatever. Plaid paper, we'll go with that. Gingham, that's the word. Oh my goodness. So many products, so many things to think about. See, and it's already overwhelming just looking at all the fun fall treats, isn't it? I don't mean for it to be. So our next card is from Beauty and Joy. It's right here on page 51. And this is a topiary set. You can make several different types of topiaries. I did 4 different samples. One of them was already on my blog. I did like a spring looking one. And so that one was a few days ago. This one I decided to do kind of in the fall colors. And so I used my markers, 3 or 4 different colors of markers directly right to the rubber to get the variation in color there. And then mounted it on some of the come together paper as well as an embossed piece from the, I think it's basket weave. Is that what that's called? I think. And then the crushed curry paper and the crushed curry ribbon tied around. And that is just using this set. So again, another fall idea, just sort of going right through the fall section here. And then these 3 cards, this one is back here past the Halloween. So page 59 is seasonal wreaths. And I wanted to use it with my gold Delicata pad. So that's the metallic pad. That's this one. And I did 3 fairly different samples here. So let's look at those. So this would be the simplest one. And I just stamped the gold right on the So Saffron and then decorated. And this again is that Christmas die, Christmas detailed die, with the one I was just showing you that was peeking out on this card. So these are the same little sprigs. And it's actually quite a big sprig, but I just pulled all the little pieces apart and did it in several colors. So that's just a fairly simple one. Oh, the bow is in the bell set. There's a set of Christmas bells, and I decided to pull in the bow for that one. Okay, this one, I ended up making it a wedding card just because I thought, oh, that's kind of cool for maybe a fall wedding or any winter, any time of year. But when I stamped my wreath on my die cut piece, it didn't stamp well. I didn't do a good job. So I stamped it a second time. I die cut it because it goes with the all around wreath die set. It cuts this out perfectly. And then I just mounted it on top. You can see how it's popped up a little bit with the dimensionals. And then I just made it into a wedding card. And then this one, I decided to go ahead and color with my blends on top of the gold. And it just gave it a little extra color. So 3 different ideas for this seasonal wreath set on page 59. Hope you liked those. And then lastly, we are going to talk about this adorable pizza box. So the gold pizza boxes are in this catalog, and I was stamping with my friend Cindy last month, and we decided to decorate one. So this is actually just a belly band that slips off. And the gold pizza box, like the other boxes, is the glossy inside. So if you wanted to put a cookie or something that might have grease or something, you can do that. And then this, the last time I slipped this off, I was thinking to myself, ooh, this would make a great napkin ring. And somebody actually commented on my video and said that. So yes, this would make an awesome napkin ring, wouldn't it, for the fall? And I wanted to show you how I made, or how Cindy and I made this. So the big leaf right here is stamped from the Gather Together stamp set. And we did it in the Pretty Peacock, which is in this color palette from this suite. And then we washed over it and we let it kind of bleed. So can you see kind of how the blue kind of bled a little bit? We really liked that. And then we flicked it with the re-inker from the gold ink pad. So you just get a little bit on a paintbrush or just really on any, I guess a paintbrush is the best thing, an aqua paint or whatever. You get a little bit and then you just kind of flick it and it made those gold speckles. And then for these leaves back here, this is really a cool idea. you take your die and you open up your ink pad, and I'm not going to do it right now because I don't have my die cutting machine here, but you smush the die directly into the ink pad. So there's ink on this raised part. And then you set that inked die onto, in this case we used, I think this is crumb cake. Yeah, crumb cake cardstock. And you run it through your die cutting machine. So then you've got dark ink where these raised pieces are. I mean, how extremely, amazingly gorgeous is that? So this one I think was a soft suede or espresso. I think it's soft suede. And this one we did Cajun craze, I'm pretty sure, on this one. And then I took my sponge again with the gold ink and I flicked and just kind of highlighted all those little tips. Isn't that, I mean, I love it. Love, love, love. Love this. So now let me tell you how to make the pumpkin, because I brought my stamped pumpkins and my punch over here to show you what we did. Seems like no matter how much space we have, do we always need more space? Is that just me? Oh my goodness. So here is the punch that punches both the pumpkin and the apple. And I'm just going to do a few. You don't need to see me do a ton of them. So I think I'm going to do 4 to show you what I want to show you. So always stamp first and then punch. That's always the best thing. And this is pumpkin pie ink on pumpkin pie cardstock, but that's not a must. You know, you could do whatever colors you would like to do. And you could, we sponged before we put this together, we sponged pumpkin pie ink on the edge. I think actually on this one, I can see the difference. I think we might have used Cajun Craze ink. There's a slight difference. It's not a big deal, but you could use, again, whatever you'd like. Now, here's the best tip. Bring your Simply Scored board and just line this up so that you can see that there is a groove hitting right here in the middle of your pumpkin. And you're going to score. We scored 8 of them. Okay, I'm only going to do just a few just to show you the idea. But you're going to score, if you want it this full, you're going to score 8 of them and leave 1 unscored. And then these fold super easily right in half. Now you could just fold it in half, but let me just tell you, this makes it so easy. So then I took my liquid glue and I started putting them together, and you only just have to hold those for a second. And if you put it down, it will ensure that the backs of these are equal. Okay, then we'll do one more. Like I said, though, you would want to make it probably a little fuller than this. Okay, so then we'll just put it down so that we can get that right together. Just going to hold it a second. And then when you get as many of those as you'd like, you can see the difference of just doing 3 versus doing 8 right here. Then I took my last one, and I guess this one doesn't even need to be stamped, obviously. Wasn't even thinking. But I put my glue on that one, and I put this down on top. And then that ensured that it didn't like fold all the way around in a circle. So I hope that makes sense. So then it would just be attached to one on the back like that. And it's fine if you only want to do a few. You don't have to do 8, but just I was trying to give you an idea when you're looking at the fullness of this one. And then you can see like all of these really pretty splatters. Again, we took that gold re-inker from the new Delicata ink and we took an aqua painter, dipped it in there, and then it's like, pretend this is the aqua painter. So you dip it in there and then you just kind of go like this, and it gives really good splatters. So that's what we did to get all those beautiful little ink splatters happening there. Oh my goodness, we did it. Look at all those projects we just went over in half an hour. Oh my goodness, how fun. How fun. I loved showing all these to you. I hope you enjoyed these, and I do hope that you'll check back at pattystamps.com over the next several days, because I don't want you to miss the details and the up-close photos of all of these projects. And I would love for you to leave me a comment there or here on the video. Let me know if you have any questions about it. Oh, I just saw a question go by. Do I have a class on this? No, I don't typically do any online classes, but if you're interested, let me know what, and I will see if I could put together a class offering for something. I mean, not everything, that would be like huge, but if there's something in particular, let me know, and I'll see if I could work up something like that. So I'm just watching a couple of the comments go by. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed these. And if you need any of these products, you can shop through pattystamps.com or ask me for a catalog. I would be more than happy to help. And thanks for joining me. We will go over Halloween products in a week or so, and then all of those projects will be on my blog. So we'll just go suite by suite through the catalog, and I hope it helps you to see a lot of these products that go well together. So thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye.